A strange thing is happening to modern men. We have more ways to communicate than any generation in human history. We can message someone instantly. We can video call across continents. We can connect with thousands of people through social media. Yet, many men are terrified to walk up to a woman and say, "Hi." That sounds ridiculous, but let me explain what I mean. This isn't really a dating problem, it's a confidence problem. It's a social skills problem, and in many cases, it's becoming a life problem. There is a reason so many men feel invisible today. There is a serious reason why dating apps exploded out of nowhere. There is a reason why anxiety continues to rise every single year. And most people are constantly blaming the wrong thing. Because the reality is that the world changed completely in the past 10 to 20 years when internet actually started. Let's imagine two different men. The first man is 25 years old in 1995. If he wants to meet someone, he has a very few options. He talks to people, he attends social events like football matches, going to the gym, maybe a martial arts group, or even from school. He gets introduced through friends all the time because his friends are introducing him to new friends. And that's how they create a social circle of people. He develops social skills whether he likes it or not, because he has no choice, he has no options. Now, imagine a 25-year-old man today. He can spend months interacting with women without even speaking to one, face to face. He can swipe, yes, he can like photos, of course, he can watch stories, send reactions, follow profiles of different women, scroll endlessly. And even after all that, the problem is that these activities create the feeling of participation without requiring any real social courage. That's where things start to go wrong for men, because social confidence works exactly like a muscle. If you stop using it, it obviously weakens. That's absolutely normal. And the numbers suggest this isn't just an option. A Stanford study found that online dating became one of the most common ways couples meet, surpassing many traditional methods, such as introductions through friends. Think about how dramatic that shift really is. For most of human history, relationships started through real-world interaction. Then, in little more than a decade, millions of people moved the beginning of their romantic lives onto a screen. But that's the interesting part. Technology made meeting people more convenient. It made it way easier than it should be. And that's actually amazing. But the problem is that it did not make people more socially confident. In fact, surveys have shown increasing levels of anxiety among younger generations. And all of that despite being more digitally connected than ever before. That's a clue. Something important is being lost. Convenience solved many problems, but it quietly removed many opportunities from growth. The fear isn't what you think. Most men believe they are afraid of approaching women. They are usually not. Let me explain what I mean. Imagine you see someone attractive sitting in a coffee shop. What's the first thing that actually creates anxiety? Let me give you a hint. It's not the conversation. The conversation hasn't even happened yet. It's the story your mind creates. What if she rejects me? What if I embarrass myself? What if people are actually watching? What if I look stupid in front of others or in front of her? The crazy part is that anxiety doesn't come from reality. It comes from imagined consequences that never actually happened. And the longer someone avoids those situations, the more convincing those stories become. So you should be very careful with how you live your life. And in case you do not take any actions, your life will become worse and worse. And the more you overthink, the more difficult your life will actually become. It's time for you to take action and change your life and start acting. Start improving your life. Start today. And let me make it easier for you, because here is a real life example. Two men walk into the same cafe. Both notice a woman they find attractive. Both obviously feel quite nervous because they actually like the girl. Both hear the same voice in their head. The first man spends 10 minutes thinking, then 20, then 30. Eventually, he leaves. He tells himself, maybe next time
I will actually take the action and talk to the girl that I like.
The second man feels exactly the same fear like the first man did. The difference, though, is that he accepts the discomfort and walks over anyway. Maybe the conversation lasts 1 minute. Maybe she isn't interested. Maybe it goes nowhere. That's absolutely normal. But when he leaves, he has something the first man doesn't: experience, which is very powerful. It's the most useful tool that you need nowadays. Without experience, you cannot act, you cannot improve your life, you cannot take decisions faster, you cannot become a stronger and smarter individual. Through experience, you become more powerful, and every step that you take has more meaning because you know exactly where you're heading to, because you've done it hundreds of times and you know exactly how to act every single one of them. And here is the reality: the man that he actually took the action collected evidence that he can handle uncomfortable situations. He learned something from it. And the other guy collected another reason to doubt himself. More overthinking, more problems for him. That's how confidence is actually built. It's time for you to understand that. Most people think confidence creates action. In reality, though, action creates confidence. It's the exact opposite. The avoidance trap. Here is where many men unknowingly make the situation worse. Every time you avoid something that makes you anxious, your brain rewards you with relief. That relief feels good. But that's the problem. Your brain learns the wrong lesson. It learned today: avoidance keeps me safe. I have no issues. I'm still alive. I can still breathe. I can still drink some water. But the next time a similar situation appears, the fear feels even bigger. Repeat that cycle often enough, and eventually normal social situations start feeling dangerous. Not because they are actually dangerous, but because your brain has been trained to treat them that way, to treat them as a problem, as an emergency. And that's exactly why men who seem perfectly comfortable online struggle enormously in person. That's the reality that we live nowadays. And the problem here is that anyone, actually anyone, can send a message online. But the person who is going to take it one step further, he will actually win. Asking her to go out for a coffee, asking her to go out on a restaurant, that's the real life interaction. That's what wins a woman, because a woman is craving fun, is craving someone who dares to actually take action. She is craving a man. It's simple as that. And the person who doesn't act is obviously feminine, is obviously not an attractive person for any female out there. And this is where modern dating becomes complicated, because dating apps give people activity. Activity makes them feel productive. But activity and progress are not the exact same things. Let me give you an example. A man can spend 6 months swiping. She can collect matches constantly, exchange messages, receive notifications, yet still feel terrified introducing himself to someone in real life. Why? Because confidence doesn't come from engagement, it comes from exposure. Exposure to uncertainty, exposure to discomfort, exposure to situations where things might not go perfectly, and that's absolutely fine. You should always be prepared for the worst possible scenario, because that's what a true man actually does. He always faces the fear and he's ready to fight back. He's ready to challenge himself and learn something from every failure. And that's the price of growth. And unfortunately, screens protect people from actually paying it. If you have ever replayed the conversation in your head for hours, or spend more time thinking about approaching than actually approaching a woman, hit the like button, because you are definitely not alone. Thousands of men experience exactly the same struggle as you do, and every like helps this message reach someone who probably needs to share it. If you are interested in understanding confidence, modern dating, psychology, discipline, and self-improvement on a deeper level, then hit the subscribe button. Become a part of this legion, because that's exactly what we do on this channel. The truth most men need to hear. The biggest mistake men make is believing confidence comes first. It doesn't, my friend. Nobody wakes up one morning magically transformed into a confident man. Confidence is usually the result of surviving situations you once thought you couldn't handle. That's why socially skilled people often seem relax in any type of situation. They have accumulated hundreds of experiences, hundreds of conversations with other people, hundreds of uncomfortable moments. They didn't avoid certainty, they became familiar with it. They actually took the action and decided to move forward. They decided that failure doesn't matter because failure will always teach us something. And that's why people learn always from their mistakes, because they don't want to do the exact same thing again. And that's how you up your game, my friend, by challenging yourself every single day. Let me leave you with this. Somewhere right now, another man feels the exact same fear as you feel. The difference though is that he's deciding not to let fear make a decision for him. He's starting conversations, he's risking rejection, he's learning social skills, he's developing confidence through experience. While many people spend years preparing for life, he's actually living it. And that's what separates growth from stagnation. The world doesn't reward potential, it rewards action. There are countless intelligent men with incredible potential living average lives because potential alone has no value. Potential only matters when it becomes behavior. So, the next time fear shows up, remember something. Remember this. Fear is not a sign that you shouldn't act. Very often, it's a sign that you're standing in front of something important. The conversation you're avoiding today could become the confidence you are searching for tomorrow. Not because it goes perfectly, but because you finally prove to yourself that you are capable of taking the risk. Go outside, my friend. Start talking to people. Start building your social skills. Accept a little discomfort. It's part of improving your life. It's part of upping your game. Because real confidence is earned in the real world, not on a screen. Start taking action today. This is the Strategic Man. If you want more dating advice and life lessons, you found the right channel. Hit the like button and subscribe right now. Become a part of this legion, and let's all of us become stronger and better men every single day. See you in the next video. Bye.